I'm Bree from My Abiding Home, and today I'm going to share with you some of my favorite kitchen tools that make cooking from scratch a lot easier and saves you a ton of time.
Welcome to My Abiding Home. This is a place where I share encouragement in things like discipleship, wholesome food, natural living, and some DIY. So follow along and make sure you like, share, and subscribe so you never miss a video.
So I used to have a KitchenAid mixer, 6-quart professional one, that I use multiple times a day, but I kept having troubles with having to replace the gears. So after talking with my husband about it, we decided to switch to a Bosch mixer, which also is a great choice. I just got it for Christmas, so I haven't used it a ton, but I have used it for dough and I'm enjoying it so far. I also really love having different attachments. I like the idea of having less appliances that take up space on the counter. So I use the shredder to make homemade hash browns, as well as shredded cheese, or I shred carrots for like stir-fry bibimbap bowls. So I haven't acquired that attachment for the Bosch yet, but that is what I used on the KitchenAid. I still do think KitchenAids are a great choice. If you have one, definitely keep it. I've had mine before I switched to Bosch. I had mine for like 7 years. But what I love about the Bosch mixer is that you can also attach the blender to it, and it just seems like it has more functions available with the one appliance. So another kitchen tool that I would acquire if you're planning on cooking from scratch is Banneton baskets. It's for proofing bread. So you'll mix up the dough, stretch it, and knead it as specified in a recipe, and then let it sit either out on the counter or in the fridge. So I recommend having a couple of these. I have an oval-shaped one as well that I love for making bread. And along those same lines, I also love my bench scraper or dough scraper, I'm not sure what's the proper term, to really help cut dough and get it into equal proportions for pizzas and tortillas and things like that. And another one of my favorite kitchen tools is cast iron skillets. I switched to using those solely a few years ago, at least 2 years ago. It sounded really scary to me at first because I had never grown up using cast iron skillets, but now it's all I use. We cook it for everything. I make skillets with it, pancakes, sauteing vegetables, making crispy potatoes. I throw them in the oven when I'm making crispy chicken. I love that they distribute the heat evenly, and I haven't had to keep recoating them because I use them so often. They get re-greased as I use them. So I definitely would recommend acquiring a few cast iron skillets if you're going to be cooking from scratch. I also do have a couple of stainless steel pots. I recommend getting a small and a medium or large size for things like cooking, like steaming broccoli. I obviously can't use my skillets for that. You could also use your Instant Pot for that, but I do like to have my pots available for making homemade spaghetti sauce and things like that. So definitely acquiring some cast iron skillets and some stainless steel cookware, along with some metal spatulas and wooden spoons. I just went to the thrift store because that's what my budget could afford, to find some wooden spoons for mixing up sourdough and just different things like that. Okay, I also recommend having 1 or 2 Instant Pots. I actually was given the 3-quart Instant Pot first and tried to shove whole chickens in there, and it was just not working out. So when I got the bigger 6-quart, I believe, Instant Pot, I kept the small one, and I actually use them both, sometimes for the same recipe, like if I'm making rice and a whole chicken, then I can have them cooking at the same time, and I don't have to dirty any other dishes. Or if I'm making some kind of like stew, then I sometimes utilize the smaller one for other ingredients that are going to go with the meal. So I recommend having at least 1 Instant Pot, but definitely a bigger and smaller one down the road if you can. There are also a couple of other tools that I hope to acquire to make cooking from scratch easier, like a grain mill. I'd love to buy whole wheat berries to mill at home. Flour loses its nutrient level almost immediately after grinding it, within hours, and so I really love to be able to mill my own flour, so that's on my list. Also, you may have seen earlier in the video that I have a Berkey water filter. If you're going to be doing things like sourdough, it's really important that you have good filtered water because it can affect the yeast in the sourdough. So you want to make sure you have a good, clean source of water. Even though we're on a well, we do still use the Berkey to filter anything extra out, and we are used to the Berkey and love it.
Okay, so another from scratch cooking tool that I've been loving is the caraway pans. I have the muffin tin as well as the bread tin, and I've been loving them. The thing I love about them is that they are super non-stick naturally. They're coated with a ceramic coating instead of something toxic like Teflon. They're really good about making sure they have clean products, so I definitely recommend them. I recently ditched my Dutch oven. I had a coated one and it was chipping off into the food, which isn't cool. So I got rid of that, and I haven't acquired another, but definitely having 1 or 2 Dutch ovens, like a cast iron Dutch oven, would be perfect. I do have a rock crock from Pampered Chef that's basically the same thing that I'm loving. And so that's another from scratch tool that I would definitely recommend having on hand.
I will link in the description box below all of the things that we love and use in our kitchen daily that save us time. And thank you so much for watching. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe so you never miss a video. Have a blessed day.